Wall Street is unhinged. This moment shows it more than anything, because Melvin Capital is this, $13 billion hedge fund. They're the men in suits. And they made a short bet on a company, GameStop, which was a reasonable bet. GameStop shouldn't exist. It's like, it's a dinosaur from our youth. It's a mall store where you go to buy video games. So they bet against it. They bet that it would go down. This group of retail traders, people on their couches, people who are stuck at home because of the pandemic, people who are very angry, as we've seen in society. It's a bubbling up anger that started back in 2008 because the financial world collapsed, but the fat cats on Wall Street continued to get rich. And they didn't like this. They saw this short, and they decided to buy GameStop. And they gathered together on this very subversive board called Wall Street Bets, which is on Reddit. I call it kind of an antisocial network. And so these retail traders banded together around this regular dude from Brockton, Massachusetts, with a magnificent mullet. And they began to buy GameStop, and they bought and they bought and they bought. And what it did is it squeezed Wall Street. Wall Street had shorted the stock, and they couldn't get out of their position because the stock just kept going up. And it ended up almost destroying this hedge fund. And that story in itself would just be this David versus Goliath thing. But it didn't end there. The reason these retail traders were able to buy stock is they used an app called Robinhood. Robinhood is this company that essentially handed the tools of Wall Street to anyone with a phone. If you have a phone, you can be as powerful as a Wall Street bank now. And Robinhood, it turns out, makes its money off of the hedge funds. And it's about this whole thing that if you are using Robinhood, but you're not paying any fees, you're the product, not the customer. And the customer really is Wall Street. And so what happened was, when this short squeeze happened and GameStop ran all the way to almost $500 a share, Robinhood shut down the buy side, meaning nobody could buy GameStop anymore. And it ended the short squeeze. And why they did it is something that we unpack in the story, whether there's a conspiracy or whether it was really their own way of trying to stay alive when everything just became unhinged. So that's the story in a nutshell. It's really this wild moment where we're learning that the walls that used to hold up Wall Street are no longer there. And the reality is Wall Street really has become a casino to some degree, and this is only going to get worse.